Mere Mortalites, yes you, welcome back to the Mere Mortals podcast. We've got a meandering session today. Deep conversations with a light-hearted touch. The meanderings, we meander across topics, things of interest.
Multiple topics.
And today, there's going to be multiple topics. There's a lot of things that I've been up to over the last couple of days, which I'm going to share. Some funny moments, some good little insights. But of course, introducing myself, Juan over here. We've got Karen down.
Hello,
on
people.
the mic.
Hello, Karen
Right
here.
over
with
there,
this
those who are not
sultry
familiar.
voice.
What have you got? What have you got for me today?
Do yours first. I haven't even got the note
I've
up
got
yet.
a couple of other items. I'm going to talk about gaming addictions. Gaming addictions, as well as funny Lambo stories. And finally, the running around that I did on the Gold Coast, on the Sunshine Coast just yesterday. And I'll begin with that. But I want to hear what's your item
I mean, honestly, man,
Me
I've got like a kind of a little bit of patterings of small ones, but I'm not really sure any are super worthy of like
being brought up.
Even being brought up right at this stage. So just for those at home, we do our meanderings, and we have I have no idea what you're going to talk about today.
Correct.
You have no idea what I'm going to talk about. And so usually it's just during the week I'll find something that will capture my attention. I'm like, oh, that's an interesting thought or whatnot. Now, the problem with these is sometimes you can think of this maybe on a Monday or Tuesday, and so we usually record on a Sunday. And that's when it's like, I look at my note and I go, oh, man.
What was that about?
Yeah, I sort of know what this is about, but I'm not really sure how worthy this is of being brought up. So I've got a couple here. Let's just say German and exercise.
Okay,
and
okay. Well,
if they come up, they come up. If not, that's
I'll tell you what,
totally
though, folks. This is this is what true meandering is about. So imagine, I feel like I wanted to explain it because I've been now asked a couple of times, and I'll go to the Sunshine Coast story here. So I went up to the Sunshine Coast, and while I was there, again, I had to explain to people, hey, we do a Mere Mortals podcast, with Mere Mortals book reviews, and a Valley podcast.
Yes.
And again, the question got asked, what is it that you do? Anyways, in the meandering, I feel like the way to explain it is just like, we just talk whatever random shit we want to over the last week that's happened, and, we just pull out something valuable, something interesting, something funny to tell to each other. Just like if you'd be talking to your mate. Like if you said, oh yeah, I'm going to tell this story because it's pretty funny. Yeah. Cool. Save it up, share it. That's the sort of stuff
I say it's like that, but at least we have the structure of looking to our note, so there is a usual end goal behind it. You listen to some podcasts and it starts off with, oh, hey, how's your week been, Juan? You tell me about your
that
thing.
Is true.
And it's
yeah,
like,
it is more structured than just like ramble, like just straight up rambling. Sure. So let me get into the Sunshine Coast conversation. Yes. So last night, I got an invite 2 days ago from a good friend of mine that I used to work with. Now he said, send me a message, said, Juan, if you want to, my wife is having a big birthday bash over at the Sunshine Coast. Come up, you can have a couple of drinks, you can stay over.
Ooh,
right?
Nice. That's
and
always
he
nice.
sends me the location of his house, right?
Yep.
Now, I left Brisbane at 5:40, no, like 6-ish, right? 6-ish. So it takes about an hour and 20 minutes to get up there, basically, for us. Where do you think I would have gone? Where would you have driven to? I just told you that story. There's not much more information there that I can tell you. What would you have gone to?
Okay, so usually when I think Sunshine Coast, I think Caloundra or maybe Noosa.
Correct. Right. Well, what I'm saying more is it was Caloundra, right? So it is in the Caloundra area. But he's given me his address. Yeah. So I go and drive.
Okay, so it's an apartment or it could be
a house. Yeah. So I've driven to the house, right? So I've gone in there. First of all, he gave me the wrong address. He gave me, I won't say the street, but he gave me 21. It was 23. And the only way I knew that is because I saw his car in front of the other house. And I thought, hold on a moment. Anyways.
First time I told Juan about this address where we were moving into, the next month. I was like, yeah. The thing is, so my dad actually owns a property, and I've been to this place many a time, and I've also been in the car with him as he's received phone calls many a time, and it's always like X and X street, this and this street, and he owns sort of multiple. So I was like, blah, blah, blah street. I just said the first thing that came to mind. I was like, that's probably what it is. Right, yeah. I was off by 21 houses or something. Poor one. So I feel for this fella.
Exactly.
An
so,
easy mistake to make.
Easy mistake to make. So in any case, I figured out what the right house.
Yeah.
Now, I got there 7:30, right? And I thought,
PM. It's
PM.
getting late-ish. Yeah.
I don't know if I'm early or late. Like, I don't know what the plan was. All I got told was, come up, we're having like a birthday bash. In my mind, that's the earliest I could get off to go there, and I just had no idea. Rock up. Nobody there. I knocked on the house a couple of times. I could hear the dogs going off. I could see one of the cars there. I went, there's nobody here. What is going on? And then I reread the message, and in the message it actually says, we're having a birthday bash by the beach. And I go, ooh, okay. Maybe it wasn't at his place. But he hasn't given me any more details.
Yeah, okay.
So I go, I try to video call him. I try to call him. I try to message him for half an hour. No reply. No nothing. And I go,
have I wasted a trip?
It's an hour and 20 minutes. Have I wasted my trip? I was going to go, like, stay for the night, go to the beach, go to the gym around here. I don't really want to drive all the way back. And I go, okay. Pull out the maps. And I go, what's the nearest beach to this place, right? So it's like 7, because it's up in Caloundra. And I go, okay, where would I go if I'm going to throw? So I find, like, the Life Saving Club. And I go, okay, that's about 10 minutes from here. That seems possible. Go to the Life Saving Club. Ask for, like, to look around. No. Anyways, I went to 7 or 8 places that I went, oh, maybe they're here. Checked in, no. Checked in, no. Checked in, no. I do this for about an hour and a half, right? I then park at Mofat Beach in Caloundra.
Okay.
And I go, I'm walking around. This is like what is in Caloundra, like the main area with places. Nobody there. And I go, dude, like, I'm going to have to, I thought at that point I went, I'll stay in a hotel. I'll stay somewhere up here, just have a good, like, relax, and then just go to the beach in the morning, and then gym, and then come back, right? Look up, no hotels, no nothing available.
What?
It's a weekend. It's like a long weekend, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Nothing available. I go, okay. Then, just by a miracle, I send his son a Facebook message that I don't have as a friend or anything. I just send him a message being like, I hope he hears this thing, right? And I send him a message. I don't get a reply for 15 minutes, and I go, okay, I'm gonna drive home. Like, okay, I sent him a voice message. I said, look, dude, like, I've been looking around for, like, you guys for like 2 hours. I was at your place. Can't really locate you. Hope it's a good time. I'm gonna be heading home. And literally, like, probably 30 seconds later, I got a message from his son and then him at the same time, and they go, oh, actually, yeah, we're at Mofat Beach. And then just looking up, they were like 200 meters down the road, and I go, holy crap. And as I get there, and I was having a chat with him, and I go, like, dude, it's pretty lucky, like, I found you guys. And he's like, oh, geez, you're, like, super late. What happened? And I'll, like, tell him. I'm like, dude, you didn't even tell me it was here. He said nothing to the owner. It was just purely like, oh, I just had to go with the fact that he said it's going to be a birthday by the beach to try and, like, go and look around.
Yeah.
And in any case, it was super lucky that I ended up finding it. And then, yeah, stuck around, had a couple of drinks, slipped over. Didn't go to the beach. I didn't end up going to the beach. What I ended up doing was just went out for breakfast the next day with them, went for a gym session. So all was not spoiled.
Whose fault would you say that is? Because you didn't.
That's 100% his fault.
Yeah.
Did
you tell him you were coming up?
I told him. Well, okay. So he said he wasn't too sure if I was coming up. He sent me his address, and I responded like, "Oh, awesome, will do." Because he sent a couple other messages beforehand. I didn't make it crystal clear the day before.
Yeah.
But the day of that I was driving there, 2 hours prior, I sent him a message saying, I am leaving now.
Yeah.
I'm leaving now. But apparently by then they already were at the place. So they've been there since like 5 o'clock at like the beach, just having a couple of drinks and relaxing, and it's kind of like a full setup. Look,
I'd say it's mostly his fault, but maybe a bit.
Look, I'll take some ownership with it for sure. That, like, I probably could have reached out a couple of days earlier
and asked.
But I'm putting it on him.
Where's the beach?
I hope he listens to this, because I told him I'm going to talk about it in the podcast. I said, dude, I feel like you're going to take some ownership, because that's bullshit. You're lucky your son, like, replied to me. And then he was like, I was going to reply to you anyways. And I was like, bullshit, dude. Like, I'm sure your son told you, like, hey.
So he was seeing those messages and wasn't replying?
Well, no, he like left his phone somewhere, like, was just charging somewhere else. And I was like, oh, man. Have you ever had something like that where you were almost on the point of, like, you might have driven like an hour, or you'd really invested a lot of time and gone, oh, do I just pull out of this? Like, is it even worth continuing?
I think I have, but I don't think mine had a happy ending. I think I was just like...
Yours was just terrible. You're like, yes, I'm pulling out of this thing.
Yeah. Actually, no. So here's one. So back in... let's just say 2017, it would have been 2017, 2018. So I'd come back from the mines, was sort of just chilling out here before I was going on my big trip through South America in 2018. And so I was just doing random stuff. You'll remember this stage. I was doing promotional sort of work. So imagine the people outside of the sporting arenas who have like the inflatable games, or they're maybe handing out flyers. And
Karen was the mascot.
I was a mascot a couple of times, yes. Yep. And so I think it was the Specsavers mascot, or it was like a glasses company mascot at one of like a convention event.
Yeah.
Big muscle bound dude. I mean, I was basically just wearing a normal t-shirt anyway. And I was also diving into the world of like acting in a way, because I was like, what is all this stuff? What do people actually do? And a lot of people who do promotions also do like acting and stuff like that. So I was just trying to figure out, like, is this actually fun? I was just wanting to get out, experiment with things. And there was a website called Star Now, which was essentially like...
Oh, yeah, I know.
I think...
For those who don't know, it's basically like the ability for you to put up portfolio and pictures and videos of you to potentially get put up in a photo shoot or to do an ad or else. Yeah,
and also places for people to promote things. So this is where you can... say, hey, we need this many extras on the set for this small shoot. We'll pay you in food, or sometimes you'll get like, $500. Sometimes it'll be, $50, whatever it is. So there was one of these ones where it was like, hey, we're having like a house party. We need a house party event, and
we need a house party event.
Yeah, so like the scene will be a house party.
Gotcha.
We're filming in it. We need people in the house party.
In the house party, having a party.
Yeah. And so we need people in the background. We won't pay you anything, but we'll give you some food and whatnot.
Okay.
So
we'll have a good time.
Yeah, exactly. So there was this thing, and it was you had to meet in a McDonald's car park in a I would say like middle-ish suburb of Brisbane. So it's like not the worst, not the best either. It's like bordering on a kind of shitty
suburb. No Woodridge, not Hamilton.
Yeah,
somewhere in the middle.
Yeah. I can't remember it. Every now and then I drive past it accidentally, and I'm like, I recognize that car park. I know that. And that was because I sat there for probably a good hour and 15.
That's quite a while.
And it was like, hey, meet at 5:30 or 6:30. Sure. Let's just say 6:30 at this place, because it was getting dark. And so, I rock up there slightly early, probably 6:10. So I'm there 20 minutes early. I'm just chilling out, and you sort of expect to meet. If you rock up early, you do think, well, they'll expect people to rock up early. They were asking for, I think, close to 20 to 30 people. So you're like, I sort of expect this. And so I sit in the car park, and then I'm just chilling out there, because I'm like, okay, well, there's going to be people walking around, or it's going to be like real obvious that this is where you should meet with these people. And
it's 30 people. It's a lot of people. Yeah, it'd be pretty obvious.
Yeah. So I'm just chilling out in this car park, and starting to get darker, and it's kind of boring in a way. You're watching the cars come in through the drive-through. You're just watching other people out there living their life, doing things.
Did you take a book or something like that?
I didn't have a book, no. So I only have my phone with me. This was dangerous. This was back in Kyron iPhone 4 days or something. So it was like, there's nothing much getting done on it. Like, there's nothing of entertainment on there.
Snake.
Crack screen and whatnot. Yeah. And so, I was just chilling out in this car park. And it was just, you'd start to see people like wandering past your car real closely, and they're sort of like in a hood, and some of them barefoot, some of them in sandals or like thongs, and you're just going, man, this is kind of weird out here. I'm not really enjoying this atmosphere, because I think McDonald car parks just draw in, the sort of like shadier part of humanity. Maybe that's maybe where the dodgy people hang out. And so I'm just chilling out there, and it's getting to like 6:40. It's 6:50 now, and so at
that point, it's been a while.
Yeah, I messaged the lady who's meant to be organising the thing, so you get like a random phone number. Meet up with Chenille, something like that. Yeah. And it's like getting to the point. Half an hour passed. I'm thinking I should just leave. Like, what's the point anymore? And so, just as I'm about to sort of turn on my car, I've made a decision, I get a knock on the window, it scares the shit out of me. And it's just like, hey, blah, blah, blah. And it's other people who were there doing the same thing. And they were, waiting in their cars like I were, but, around the shrub or around this area.
Gotcha.
And back in those days, I was not comfortable going up to like random car windows, knocking on it. Like, excuse me,
are you here for...
Are you here for Chenille? I did that the other day in a bloody going to the Cardano event, and I had to ask 5 different groups. Hey, is this a Cardano event? No, they all just look at you like, no, this is not it. It's unenjoyable, and particularly unenjoyable doing that in a McDonald's car park.
Oh, definitely. And
7
back then, you would have been
night.
like, no.
Yeah, and so it scares the shit out of me. And then, now I'm really annoyed because I've made up my mind to go home, and I've got all this free time now. I don't have to do any socializing. Yep. This was sort of me putting myself out there a bit as well, putting myself in slightly uncomfortable situations.
Yeah.
So the worst bit was I'd made up my mind to leave, and then now I had to like throw myself back into the uncomfortable situation.
Your mind already had like flexed down and been like, fine, whatever. I can just chill out.
I tried to do this. I couldn't do it. That was
what ended up happening?
Yeah. So what ended up happening was they then say, "Oh, yep, here's this address to go to." Like, oh, why don't we just all go there at the start anyway? And we drive there. They give us like some dinner in a random person's garage, and then it's like a house party scene. I'm really trying to remember the name of the thing. I'd have to dig through my records. Like,
was it a video clip?
So it was a movie that was very indie. So it was it's not going to be in movie cinemas or anything like that.
Sure, yeah.
They might have their own small screenings and whatnot. But it's the sort of movie you only find about because you're friends with the director or friends with an extra or something like that.
Okay, yeah.
And it was about some crazy guy, and it was, the director was also the main actor, who was also moonlighted as like the camera dude and etc.
Bit of everything. So, I know what you mean.
So I went to it. It was fun. Met some people. Didn't really like any of them.
At least you got dinner. What was dinner? Can you recall?
I think it was spaghetti.
Yeah. That would be what I would do. If I was trying to pay somebody to come and do like a gig for me and I'm paying them in food, I'd be like, go buy the cheapest pasta, the cheapest sauce, go steal meatballs from like Subway bins.
Or like horse meat meatballs.
That
sort of shit.
Pack them up, like just put dirt and just put a little bit of meat on the outside of it and just like roll them up.
Those are the herbs.
Dude.
Yeah, so
that's ridiculous.
It was very similar thing. Like, I was there. There was like a contact number, but no replies.
I'm amazed you got through that. I'm amazed you stuck around. Went there. At that point, when they said like, "Oh, go here," I'd just be like, "I'm going home. Like, I'm not going anywhere."
Yeah. It was tempting in my mind to just like, as we were all getting in our cars and driving to this place, like I just drive off.
I would have done that for sure.
That was my little story related. Very similar
good.
thing.
It was very good. I like that even better than my one. I got a question for you. So.
Hit me up.
This came out through the week, and it was because I was talking to someone at work when I was up in Macca, which is an hour and a half north of Brizzy from a flight. Near Airlie Beach, actually, which we'll hopefully be going to. But in any case, we got into talking about games with a couple of people from work, right? So I was saying, do you play? And I talked to some employees up there as well.
So we're talking video games, board games?
Talking video games, specifically here. And talked to a couple of the workers up there as well, some of the boys, and they were saying, I'm a PC gamer, I'm a console gamer. And they also asked me the question like, oh, do you play games? What sort of games do you play? And I went, I don't play any now. And I went, but I used to play a lot. Like, I used to play a lot. Call of Duty, dude, I would stay up like school nights or especially weekend, dude, 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I would be playing for like hours and hours. And it got me thinking, it's not that I would have, like, now, I wouldn't say I've got a gaming addiction. But if I got given a game, like if I got given a console, because I'm not a PC person, but if I got given a console, TV, and like a good game, I would sink many, many hours. Like, I would push away a lot of other important things to play games.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I enjoyed it so much. I don't know if it's like, I've controlled it because I don't have it, or if it's just like, I'm not having it, so I'm not putting any effort to not controlling it.
Yeah, exactly.
But did you ever have that with gaming in particular, like video games at all?
No, it's pretty good, especially like consoles and even PC games. I only ever played once where there was an end, so I'm thinking God of War.
What? Because like games would be like FIFA, you just play like a soccer match and play one game.
Yeah, those ones I would play with friends, and so obviously you're not going to invest that much time.
Was it self-imposed restriction, or was it imposed by like the family?
No. None. I just didn't get into that sort of stuff. So like God of War, I'd play that a lot until I finished it, and then it's like, it's finished. I'm done here.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Ratchet and Clank. I play it, until I'm finished.
Until you're finished.
And then it's done. There's no more.
You know, like I say, here's an example. So Ratchet and Clank. You know how Ratchet and Clank, you play it once, and then you might get the ultimate weapon, but then you can go again.
Yeah.
And you get. I would play it, finish it. I would play it again.
Yeah. Okay.
Get it all, and then I would play it again until I maxed out everything. Like I wouldn't put it down until everything was like 100%.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And there were some games where Skyrim's a perfect example. Like you don't 100% it. Like you do not 100%. I'd put 200, 300 hours into this game. One, it makes me think like, damn, imagine if I put that much hours into like more productive things. But in saying
learning a language, music, something like that.
In saying that, look, it was a good thing at the time. Like it was fun. Like I'm not going to say that it wasn't fun. Like sure, it was fun. Sure, could be more productive. Is life supposed to be always productive? Probably not. Who gives a shit?
No, hell no. It's like money. I was thinking the other day, you know, AfterPay is, if you're serious about money, you should be using AfterPay because you're saving those upfront costs. That's delaying it to the future. You can use that capital right now to make more money on your money.
That's right. That's right. That's true.
But you know, life's not all about money, and AfterPay is really annoying because you have to keep on track of all this shit.
You've just hit the what do you call it? The hidden way to make a lot of money. So what you should do, folks, you out there, me and Mortalites, is you use AfterPay for everything.
Yeah.
Right?
Okay.
But what you do is, so you use AfterPay to pay for everything. You have to pay for everything, and you basically put all your capital to investments. And when you have to repay your AfterPay, you take out a loan to repay that AfterPay. So you just keep going. You're just on loans and AfterPay until it's just like a balloon. But you just hope that your investment is just like gaining at a higher percentage rate, and then it'll never stop. Like you'll just forever be on loans.
You know what the fucked up thing is? People do this and they get away with it, and they don't even have to be good with their investments, because once it's that age-old saying like, if you owe the bank, you know, $100, then you know they'll come at you with everything that they've got. If you owe the bank $100 million, you know you're untouchable in essence, because like if the whole thing crumbles down if you can't pay this, so they will give you the money to repay.
Exactly.
So you just have to afterpay yourself into enough debt that
they cannot afford.
The whole financial system is dependent on you and your afterpay payments.
Take like a 20,000 leverage call on like a random shitcoin to the point that like you're worth like $1 trillion of debt, and be like, if we let this go, the whole of Australia shuts down. It's like, okay, we can't allow this.
Yeah. 100%.
There you go. That's gonna be the mere mortal-like coin, the mere mortals coin, where it'll everybody will go $1 trillion debt instantaneously. That's the game that we're playing.
There's some interesting stuff around trust that I want to discuss. Maybe next week's musings will be
around trust. Trust in the crypto world. Mindset.
Yeah, and just trust in general, because it's sort of like, you know, everyone says don't trust, verify. But if you dive deep enough into all of these things, you end up needing to trust someone. So you know, you want to keep your crypto safe, so you learn your seed phrases and whatnot. Well, let's leave that topic. We'll leave that topic for next week, I believe. Yeah. One thing I did want to say though was I would have to restrict myself with watching stuff. So I used to watch a lot of TV with my mum. That was sort of a pastime of ours. So we would watch the Tour de France. We'd watch House. We'd watch NCIS.
Back in the days when you'd watch a TV show on TV when it wasn't like not recorded. Yeah. Like you'd be like, I need to sit in front of the TV from 7:30 to 8:30 so I can watch House.
Exactly. Simpsons as well was quite big, and
so
that sort of transferred over into anime a bit and manga, I guess, when I was more in my like uni stage, I guess. I remember having nights where I would stay up until like 3 a.m. watching One Piece or random shit like that. I guess
that's the equivalent for me, but in gaming. And you know, it's the typical mindset where I would be playing Call of Duty. It'd be 1:30 a.m. and I'd go, okay, I had a pretty good game. Let's play one more.
Just one more. And
if I want to get a good kill death ratio, and I'll play really well, and that'll be it. And you play, and then it's a good game, and you go,
I'm on a streak now.
I can do it again. And it would normally take like until you have a really shit game and you're getting like, that's it, I'm going to bed. Yeah, dude. Yeah, I'm glad I'm not like that anymore. But it could very easily become that.
Yeah, you see parts of your personality, where you're like, I'm not sure this is such a great thing.
Yeah, no, for sure. It's like that, you know, that bit about me where it's, I know sometimes when I'm doing something, I can go like really all in. That's like the place that I'm like, okay, I wouldn't want to be all in there because I'm just going to waste my time doing something random. It might feel like I'm busy, but maybe not productive to like my life.
For sure.
Is there some Boostagrams that we can share, or you got a topic that you want to talk about?
I will get into that in a second.
Okay.
So there was the two things I want to say. So first one, I've really recently, following my yearly goals, started doing more German practice again. You'll be happy to know that Duolingo has improved in my small absence since I've been
really?
there. Yeah, they've put in less of the automated voices, so those text to speech, those sort of mechanical things. They've actually recorded more German speakers actually saying sentences, which is nice. Very helpful. I've noticed less of the useless sentences, although there's a couple still in there. But no, it's actually been I've been quite impressed with what they're doing at the moment. Nice. Makes me think that they're going to start charging soon. I need to learn German before they start charging. So speed German coming up. Good. But one thing I discovered, and you might not know this, is the main three languages that I'm starting to know: English, Spanish, and German. The word for tomorrow is also the same for morning. So in Spanish, mañana, esta mañana, this morning, and then like mañana as in tomorrow. In German, it's morgen. So morgen for the morning. And I was like, oh man, that's really weird that German and Spanish has that, like such a weird thing. So I tried diving into it. Apparently it's the same for English as well. Morrow actually used to mean morning as well.
Tomorrow, morrow. Yeah.
So tomorrow, morrow.
In the morrow.
Yeah. So I just found that language is really fun when you get into weird stuff like that. I'm like, that's cool. I
you're
like
gonna find a lot of similarities because I mean, this is definitely a Meanderings. This is probably part truth, part probably bullshit. But, like they've all got a root in, like, not all a root in Latin.
If you go back far enough,
like all of them came from a root language, and whereas I don't even know how you say it, the Aryans, whatever it is. Anyways, there is a base language from that, and that language evolved from Africa at some point through the Sumerians, blah 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 blah. So, like, there would bound to be a lot of similarities. I think the funny one actually is, I don't know. People look it up. Me and Mortalites, go and look this up. Pineapple. I think pineapple is said like
in German.
No. Like in every other language, it's said in like a particular way that's like all the same. And then I think it's in English, it just said pineapple, and it's like, what the fuck? It said like in every other language, said this other way, and then we just decided to make a random name.
Yeah,
and I was like,
it's funny.
So some funny stuff like that.
It's funny coming across weird words. My other one I wanted to ask was, what's the longest you've ever exercised in like one stretch?
I would say. And it was...
Or like maybe the longest day or night of exercise. So not including your trek.
In one bout, there was a bout where I did... It was 4 hours and 45 minutes, and I probably took a break of 15 minutes. So it was a break of 15 minutes.
Yeah.
So 4 hours and 45 minutes. It was about that. Yeah, and I was just...
There's like gym, right?
Yeah. This was at the gym, and I'm talking 4 hours, 45 minutes with 15 minutes of break, but like... with only like a minute break between things. And this was continuous for the whole time. And I was wrecked. I threw up 3 times that workout too. God. I was mental. It was mental.
What were you thinking after like the first throwing up? You know, what goes in your mind when the second one comes up?
The first one was because I was doing 10 by 10 squats, right? And that alone just takes ages, right? It just takes ages. So even just doing them, it was like through that particular one. And it was also either I was coming off being like not training for a while or being unwell. This was like 6 years ago. Yeah. And I went, maybe it's just that. So I like threw up at like that 7th set, and I was like, oh man. And then got myself back together and got into it. But then the second one came like 2 hours in, and I was like, oh dude, I'll only like sit down for that was my break. I like sat down and I'm like, oh man, I'm gonna throw up. Then I went down, threw up, kind of took my breather, did a little bit of cardio, and then I was like, okay, now I got to get back in and finish this. And it took me that 4 hours and 45 minutes. Dude, that was hellacious. I don't know what the hell I was doing while I was doing it that long.
Maybe it was the like dodgy ass spaghetti you'd eaten the night before.
I was mixing the dirt meatballs. But
what was coming up? Was it water mostly?
I mean, the first one was just like food because I think I'd eaten like that morning, and then it was just water by the third one. But it was like, if I can try to remember the workout, it was legs. So I was like legs and core and cardio that I was trying to do. It's got
to be legs and cardio.
But it was like that combo. Stupid things where I was doing like, I was doing so like 10 sets by 10. So that's like that. If anyone knows, like that's just going to take you a long time to do, right? And it's just heavy. And then I would go into like just lots of like lunges, and then a particular Jefferson squat, and then like toe squats, and then I do front squats, and then I do overhead squats, and then I do like sets on the leg press for 100 reps, right? I was doing sets of them for 100 reps, and it wasn't like going heavy, but I would be there for ages, man. Like I reckon I was in leg press for like an hour, just doing stuff. I was like, I was wrecked the next day. I was wrecked for so long.
I bet, man.
Yeah. What about you? The recent one?
Yeah. So yesterday I went out for some bouldering in the morning, which is I think I've talked about this before, but bouldering's a scary one for me. That's I could invest a lot of time into that, and it's fun. It's like one of those really fun ones. Sort of like you hear about Game of Thrones, you're just like, this probably sounds up my alley, but do I want to?
I better not dive into it.
Do I want to commit to the, I don't know how many seasons and episodes it is, but let's just say 50 to 100 hours required to do that. So that's how I feel with bouldering. But anyway, I went and did that with 2 friends of mine, Brendan and Bree. And then afterwards, I was meant to be doing a 3-hour handstand session. And I just went, man, I've been bouldering for 3 hours. My wrists are killing me, my arms, my back, all of this hurts. All right, Brendan's going to the park. I'll join him anyway. And then, just had a really good session. I was surprised at how quickly I recovered in the 15-minute drive it took to get there and whatnot. So that was like close to 6 hours all up of much more breaks than you had with your thing.
But still, it was pretty consistent.
Just a big day, man. Just a really big day.
Well, you looked wrecked.
Yeah, I was dead, man. Yeah, so Boostagram time.
Boostagram.
Woo, boost. So not a big one this week, people. People at home, come on, send those Boostagrams. Doesn't even matter the amount, people. It's it's just the love, the thing that comes in. So first one from Mr. Dave Jones. Rain sucks.
Dave.
2160 received, sent using Castamatic. Yeah,
nice.
Rain does suck, man. It sucks when it interferes with my exercise. Any other time, I'm cool.
You're okay with it.
Driving in the rain's fun. Reading books while there's rain outside. Cooking dinner while there's rain. All of that's good. But when it's like threatening my workouts,
bad.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
So he says that because it was raining in our last episode, or maybe the one before that. Another one. Dave Jones. Kyron, I recommend the book The Technological Society to you. It's by Jacques Ellul.
The Technological Society.
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at that yet and even what it's about, but I'm actually way more receiving of people recommending books to me now. Now that I can read so much that it's not like, oh man, I really need to read this book next. I'm way more open to
fluid.
To receiving a recommendation where someone thinks, oh, this might be up your alley. That's actually probably a better recommendation than some of the ones I've got on my list, which were like random podcasts that, who knows if
you're going to enjoy or not. Yeah.
So thank you, Dave. I've definitely put it in the list, and I definitely will get that at some point. And then once again, Dave Jones. So that last one was 2133 using Castamatic as well. And then Dave Jones, finally, once again, thank you, my friend. This episode was really great, guys. So he was talking about the last Meanderings, I believe, where we were talking about Bitcoin people.
Oh, yes. Yep.
And so he said, love the discussion of why Bitcoiners don't care about the fiat price. Sorry you got kicked out of your recording spot. Is getting picked up Australian for being arrested by the police? 21-130. Oh, big one. Thank you, Dave. Using Castamatic again. Juan, can you answer that?
Is being picked up.
Yeah, so I'm sure that we would have said it we got picked up for etc. etc. So
yeah, I guess I guess more the translation would be maybe spotted or
yeah, spotted or accosted, maybe
accosted.
Accosted's maybe a bit more violent. The dude wasn't putting his hands on us and whatnot, but certainly
a non-violent accosting.
Yeah, I would say when you say getting picked up is more like someone's noticing you for doing something, and it's probably
a bad thing, probably the wrong thing that you're doing. Yeah. You wouldn't say I got picked up for picking up rubbish. No, you'd say I got picked up for dumping some rubbish.
Yeah. And then there's the sexual one as well. As like, oh, we're going to pick up some girls tonight.
That's right.
Etc.
And you just pick them up and throw them.
Throw them into your car, into your rape van, and then run off. That's what Juan does.
Very good.
So thank you.
Thank you for the Boostagrams.
Thank you, Dave. Much appreciated. There was something else I was going to go from there. Oh well. Thank you, Dave. Yes, so for people wondering, what is the Boostagram? I can tell you. A Boostagram is a message you send using your podcast app while you are listening. So you're using some shit app like Apple or Spotify.
Yeah.
Get rid of that
We were just
shit.
talking about the dangers of Apple and the lies that they were been telling people on the statistics.
Not so much lies, just dodgy stuff.
Lies.
Okay, all right.
Straight
it's
lies.
Once called it out here.
Yeah. Tim Cook. Liar.
So there's relating to download
Are we gonna have some like
statistics and
specific thing like when we do the Boostagram? We're gonna have some like nice sound or like a
there's
imagery where it's like Boostagram.
Yeah. Once again,
I reckon we should like both just be like Boostagram and then record that and then we'll make that the playlist.
Yeah. I guess I can put it on just as we're
Boostagram.
Shut up, man.
That'd be good.
We'll talk about this. I'm not too much a fan of putting things in post because it can kind of maybe we'll we'll have a look see at it. So anyway,
I'll just say it whenever we do it. Boostagram.
So anyway, you can send us a message in the podcasting app that you're listening to. So you hear Juan talking some shit that's a lie. Send him something saying, "Hey, that's a lie, Juan."
Send
I'm calling you out.
one Satoshi.
Yeah.
Send one Satoshi and be like, "This is what you deserve for saying that."
This is what you get. It's probably like the electricity for us to receive that.
It's probably worth more.
Is worth more than that. But yes, you can do that. Go to newpodcastapps.com, look for the value ones, and you'll find that there. I would just recommend Castamatic if you're using a iPhone, iOS device. That's a good place to do it. And yeah, it's a lot of fun for us. Once again, we don't really care about the amount, although whatever amount you decide to send us is appreciated. And of course, bigger ones are appreciated. But I would much... If
it's
you're
cool interacting with people. It is cool interacting with people.
Look, if the value for me at this stage is getting a Boostagram. That's way more fun, way more cool. So
correct.
That is your task, your assignment for the end of this Meanderings. And Juan, you want to take us out?
That's it,
any
folks.
Final thoughts?
No. I hope you enjoyed the conversation, the little story. I did not expect that story to come out from you about the McDonald's car park.
I've got plenty of stories, man.
There'll be more to come. All right, folks. That's it for the Meandering session from the Mere Mortals here. One out.
Current out.
Oh, good.